Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Total Extreme Wrestling 2020. This is version 1. I don't know if there's been another version since release. I haven't had a look this morning. I've been ill the last few days since I was quite ill when I did Against All Odds. But I'm getting there. I'm not 100% yet, but yeah. Explosion was meant to be a B show and pre-taped. I've somehow made it a main show, A show, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, the UK's in lockdown, but not in lockdown. But yeah, we've got to bloody dodge droplets of water. If you don't know what if you're not British and you don't know what our government's like with this coronavirus shit, then fucking God help you. But anyway, see, I've not. Referee's not rotating. Yeah, there hasn't been current patch. Oh, there is a 1.1 and change log. So I'll have to upgrade, but we'll see how this show goes. It's a B show. So Tony Schiavone's here. Tony Schiavone joined TNA Wrestling tonight. We also have another big name to join Mike Tenay and Taz over on Impact. And he's like, "Run to Explosion on the Sci-Fi tonight." And making my return to the desk, it is me, Tony Schiavone. And joining me tonight, the man, the myth, the legend, Paul Heyman. Because I found Tony, look around this place. After this past Saturday Night Live, this is going to be a great first episode of tonight. AJ and RVD are going to face Sting and Mick Foley in our main event. And they have 74. Not bad. And in a poor match, Kevin Steen defeated El Generico in 8:05 by putting the package pile driver. Kevin Steen 43, El Generico 47. These two have great chemistry. And this is a X Division match. We have now turned the X Division around, and we have now got people set out as X Division wrestlers in the what's called the Action Division in the game. The issue is we have more heels and bay faces, so there'll be a couple of signings over the next few days to make that an even division. But yeah, in an abysmal match, the International Wrecking Crew defeated the Canadian Ninjas in 7:59 when Jetta pinned Porter Perez with a double knee backbreaker. Nicole Matthews 26, Porter Perez 24. Jetta 22 and Rain 24. The crowd were turned off by having a match outside of the pre-show between workers they don't have any investments in. Well, you're going to have investments in them, so stop complaining. And then anyways, we went back Baron kind of backstage, and they have a massive brawl backstage. So some of these storylines are going to advance on here. We've got, but the majority of it's going to happen on Impact. This is kind of like another A show, which is more based around, Explosion is going to be more based around the in-ring product, so more wrestling, more action over angles, whereas TNA Impact is going to be a bit of both, 50-50, depending on what's happening on the show. But I've got some big plans for Lockdown. I've got another Lethal Lockdown match planned in my head. In about decent wrestling and decent to crowd with subpar wrestling, Matt Morgan defeated Tyler Black in 7:33 by pinfall, following interference on Desmond Wolfe. Tyler Black 42, Matt Morgan 44. These two don't click. 45, not bad. A video plays hyping up Styles and RVD versus Sting and Foley. Yes, there's 70, and we'll see how well the match does. In a Bad Van Fantasy, Heat and Good Wrestling, AJ Styles and Rob Van Dam defeated Sting and Mick Foley in 1845 when Rob Van Dam pinned Sting with a 5-star frog splash. RVD 81, AJ Styles 81, Mick Foley 61, and Sting 66. Ladies and gentlemen, next week on Explosion, which you'll get to see which will happen. I don't know how this pre-taping works. I don't know if we now tape but these have been pre-taped prior to Impact, I think. So, but next week's main event is going to be a big one. Hulk Hogan, at 56 years old, makes his return to the ring against the Icon Sting. There it is. It's happening next week. Sting versus Hogan. And it got overall 66, increased our popularity in 10 regions. Okay, the final attendance is rating confirmation, which is nice. So we're going to finish the show. We'll have a look, see what happens. Yes, so we're now doing this. So yeah, we got this to happen, then we got TNA Impact and TNA Impact tape for next week. We do 2 at once, so that's all we got left. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll go and book this, and we'll see you again real soon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just a little bit. We're going to get to the meat of the bones of this episode, as we'll get to both tapings of TNA Impact, as we tape 2 episodes of Explosion and 2 episodes of Impact every 2 weeks. One episode is live, the other is pre-taped. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be in just a little bit, and we've got big plans for Lockdown. I've decided to do 2 Lethal Lockdown matches, and both of them make perfect sense, and we'll get to that on the main card. Of course, Immortal are not happy about this, but last past week against all odds, they did get the win, and we'll hear from Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar on tonight's edition of Impact. And we finished doing what I'm doing. But they're 72 beaten. And Tony's like, hello and welcome. And this week we've got Sting versus Hulk Hogan. And the TNA World title is on the line when AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe in the main event tonight. And Paul's like, excuse me. I'm really sorry for that. Tonight is another huge show for Sci-Fi, and this is why TNA Wrestling is growing in size. And coming up in 2 weeks is Lockdown. We've got some big matches, but first the X Division. The X Division. Now I have sorted the X Division out, so everybody in a certain weight class up to lightweight are in the X Division. The issue is, as I don't know if I mentioned, is we've got too many heels, so I'm going to have to go on a bit of a hiring spree to get some faces. But yeah, that's the only issue we got, but that will be something I'll deal with. But yeah, thank you, Paul Heyman. Yeah, of course, we're now taping this for next week, so not the week one, we're taping this for week 2, and then in week 3 we'll have another set of tapings, and we'll do the go home and that pre-taped, which I'm not sure is going to work, but we'll see. 72, not bad. And in a poor match, Koshai, Homicide defeat, and Austin Aries defeat Roger Strong, Sean Morley, formerly known as, I can't remember the guy's name, and Al Genoko in 5:39 when Homicide pinned Roger Strong. Austin Aries 52, Homicide 50, Koshai 41, Al Genoko 43, Sean Morley 52, and Roger Strong 54. I will confirm now that Kevin Steen is also in the Action Division. We've also got Amazing Red and Brian Kendrick. And a few others. But yeah, these guys are all in that weight class. So I thought, why not? Let's throw them all into a nice big Steal the Show match. Koshai was really off his game. That's nice. In about fantastic heat and good wrestling, Sting defeated Hulk Hogan in 750 by pinfall with a Stinger Death Drop. Or Death Drop, Stinger DDT. Hulk Hogan 69, Sting 63, a 62C. That's why I won in the main event. In a battle of terrible wrestling honours, and Crowdy, Saraya Knight defeated Levi Bates in 7:35 by pinfall. Levi Bates 28, Saraya Knight 41. The crowd was turned off by having a match outside the pre-show between workers that they don't have any investment in. Hence why we're putting them in a match on the TV card, you bloody morons. Oh, the fans in this game are morons. You might not have investment in them, but if we don't put them on the card, you will never get investment in them. 29E. That's why we're ignoring and glossing over that, because next up, I think, is our huge main event. It's AJ Styles, it's Samoa Joe, and it is live tonight in the main event. In a superb match, AJ Styles defeats Samoa Joe in 22:35 by the Stars Clash. AJ Styles makes defense number 5 of his TNA World Heavyweight title. Samoa Joe 74, AJ 78 gets a 78B. That's where we finished the show, and it got a 71. So the show increased popularity in 10 regions. A great show, actually, and I thought Sting and Hogan did pretty well, to be honest. But yes, I'm really happy with the main event tonight, AJ and Samoa. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys for the taping of TNA Impact. Thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you again real soon. Well, this week on Impact, we've got 2 Impact Wrestlings coming up next in the episode. And this week on Impact, we've got some big stuff happening for Lockdown, for next week's TNA. It's all going down, but something huge happens, and it's going to be an interesting time, to say the least. But I've put myself into a corner with Explosion. So I'm going to have to get myself out of it for next week. Or we lift the flags and say that those matches are pre-taped prior to this happening. But yeah. Hello and welcome to doing TNA Impact Live and Spike, and tonight's Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. And I am Jim Ross, and I am here in TNA Wrestling. Joining me tonight is Mike Tonight Taz, and Mike's like, it's great to have you on board, Jim. And you join us in a dark time as Immortal are trying to take over. And Taz like, they won against all odds, and we know Kurt, AJ have a meeting with Ted tonight. It's going to be huge. But first, the beautiful people in action. Ladies and gentlemen, TNA Wrestling haven't only got Tony Schiavone and Paul Heyman calling the action over on our syndicated sci-fi show, but we have got a huge Jim Ross. I ain't joking as well. Look, debuted. Yes, so he's debuted his gimmick. There he is. Look, Jim Ross. In a terrible match, the beautiful people, Lacey Von Erich, Velvet Sky, Angelina Love, Madison Rain defeat Ali, Taylor Wilde and the Blossom Twins, and 7:33 and Velvet Sky pinned Hannah Blossom and double knee backbreaker. Madison Rain 35, Angelina Love 31, Velvet Sky 33, Lacey 26, Taylor Wilde got a 41. Not bad for Taylor. Holly got a 29, Hannah got a 27, and Ali got a 34. 37. Not the best. After the match, the beautiful people are celebrating the titles when Awesome, Amanda, Tara, and ODB run an attack into the ring, beating living shit out of the beautiful people. And Tara just grabs the mic off and says, "See you at Lockdown, bitches." So, TNA Wrestling have got some matches already, got one huge match. But we've just got word from TNA management that they, after seeing what happened during that match, have granted these matches for you, the fans. TNA management realise that the ongoing feuds are important to you, the fans, but we have made a decision that is right for all to see. So, at Lockdown, it's going to be a 1v1, a fatal four-way match. For some reason, it doesn't let me do that, so I think if I put in fatal, nope, that's not going to work either. Right, let's go back to the beginning. Let's you go up there. There's triple threat. Don't want a triple threat. We want a fatal four-way. This is going to cut tie. The idea behind this is also it's going to cut ties in the women's division. So, females, we're going to put in not what I want to do, but Lacey Von Erich is going to be in there with ODB, Madison Rain, and of course Tara. That is going to be a fatal four-way for the Knockouts Championship. Live at Lockdown at Madison Square Gardens, where we will be live. Let's find the Knockouts Tag Team titles. There we go. That's going to be pre-booked. Well, also, TNA Wrestling have made another thing. They are not happy with the way... they're not happy with the way the beautiful people have handled themselves since becoming champions, and the management don't like them. So... boom. It's going to be a 2 versus 2 versus 2 tag team match. It'll be the beautiful people defending the titles against the Dark Arts, because they're one of my favourites. And of course, on the face side, Kong and Hamanda, and Sarita and Taylor Wilde. So that will also be happening, and that will also be for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. So pre-book that there. So 2 huge knockout fatal four-way matches have been booked here tonight. That gets a 40. In a decent match, Motor Machine Guns defeated the American Wolves in 8:22 when Alex Shelley pinned Davey Richards with a sliced bread 2. Which is amazing. Gets a 57, Chris Sabin 51, Alex Shelley 54, Eddie Edwards 49, Dave Richards 59, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin have great chemistry in the team together. Eddie Edwards soon off his game. Of course, we are taping 4 things here tonight, so hopefully we get a good crowd. I should have checked that I've put the TV tickets onto very cheap for Explosion as well. But our big 4 pay-per-views, Lockdown, Summiversary, Bound for Glory, and Final Revolutions have expensive tickets. Because they are big shows and we want them to be expensive. In a decent match, Daniels defeated Kazarian in 8:14 by Pin of the Angel Rings. Daniels 53, Kazarian 52, 55C. This, of course, is a match in the X Division. Of course, the new X Division. I'm going to go on a hiring spree after tonight's Impact, so I'll hopefully have the right amount of faces to heels ready for next tapings in 2 weeks' time. Not bad. And we won't be in the Dover Memorial Hall for 4 episodes. So we see Beer Money, Eric Young, and Tyler Black sat in the locker room, and we see James get up, and he's like, "You see, this is where we stand. We stand here stripped of titles and pride. You see, you guys are earning more money than most because you hold the titles. And we're not having any man matches with the British Invasion for the titles, but fine. So at Lockdown, it's going to be the 4 of us versus the 4 of you in a lethal Lockdown match, and we're sorry." We are not sorry about your damn luck. And then they all get up and they do like this hand gesture. But yes, opening up the Lockdown pay-per-view. I don't know why I'm trying to pre-book an angle. Pre-book a match. It's going to be a 4v4 lethal Lockdown match. This has been booked by me and set up by me. Oh, do I do that one? Yeah, runs for 20, 60 minutes, 10 minutes non-wrestling. I think we'll go for this one for this match. So yeah, the reason is this storyline, I don't want to throw out really any lethal lockdown matches. If I know that I want to do 2 a year on the pay-per-view now from this point forward, and I need to build the stories up, and I had no stories built up around it, but then I thought, well no, we do. These 4 guys want to get their hands on the British Invasion. They've had enough shots, rematches and shots at the champions. They cannot do it. So why not put them in a position where they get a chance? Management have said, though, because they are all champions and they can't have another shot, the man advantage goes to the British Invasion. And now I need to find a British Invasion. It would help if I push this button on it to go to heels. And I'll be able to do it. Brutus Magnus. Doug Williams. I'm actually really looking forward to this match. I know that Rob Terry ain't the best in ring, but I think putting him with everybody else is going to help him. Ooh, Rob Terry. Who have I broke? I've broke Brutus Magnus. I'm just going to change him to Magnus anyway. I'm going to take the Brutus off him by next week, so it's fine. But yeah, they're going to go about 50 minutes. Oh, and Dr. Stevie's in the match for some reason. Instead of Eric Young, we've got Dr. Stevie. That's great. Eric Young. There we go. That is set. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Your second Lethal Lockdown match and your semi-main of the evening. Let me just plug my iPad in because my iPad is what I use to know what I meant to say in certain pieces and bits and bobs and ooh dally lally lally. But there we go. So that is booked. I'm really happy with that one. 44, not bad. In about a great heat and good wrestling, Abyss defeated Mr. Anderson in 803 by pin of the Torture Rack Backbreaker. Mr. Anderson 66, Abyss 70. Got 70B, not bad. In a double match, Sarita and Taylor Wilde got defeated by the Scottish Fire and Kaylee Ray pinned Taylor Wilde. He used the ropes for leverage. Taylor Wilde 40, Sarita 44, Kaylee Ray 38, and Nikki Storm 33. Crowd was turned off, that's fine, 32. Don't care. So we see Ted in the office, and we see Ted's office. We can see AJ and Kurt sat behind the desk. AJ has the title over his shoulder. You can see the old TNA posters and lockdown poster. There's a TV screen, which is like where you would have a video conference. And Ted's like, so as it stands, it's going to be. As it stands, you two hate each other. So next week, live on Impact, it's going to be AJ versus Angle in a ladder match, and whoever is champion at the end of the match, whoever is champion at the end of the match will be champion, and they'll have the man advantage in the Lethal Lockdown. AJ's like, this is bullshit. I've got a match on Explosion next week against Joe as well. You can't do this. And there's like, if you don't perform, then you lose the title and Angle will become TNA World Champion. Oh, and this man's special referee, and the door opens, and in comes Sergeant Slaughter, and you can hear the crowd in the background go, woo! So, ladies and gentlemen, next week for TNA Impact, it will be a ladder match, and I am so looking forward to this. This was originally going to be against all odds, but then I wanted to build up, and I thought I'd do this for TV. This was originally going to be this match was going to be at the Against All Odds pay-per-view. But I can't change the referee or anything, but it will be for the World Heavyweight title. But that will be your main event next week. I do like the fact I can do that. Obviously, we're not going to tell you anything other than that, but yes, Kurt Angle vs AJ Styles in a ladder match next week. Of course, that'll be taped after this show, so the fans here tonight will get to see that. In about fantastic heat and great wrestling, Immortal, RVD, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and AJ Styles drew with Kurt Angle, The Rock, and Team 3D in 7:47 following a double countout. Edge Styles 81, Matt Hardy 72, Jeff Hardy 68, RVD 82, The Rock 79, Brother Ray 64, Devon 69, and Kurt Angle 85. Got an 82, not bad. After the match, AJ Styles, Robin Down Jeff, and Matt Hardy and Kurt Angle, Brother Dave and Brother Ray, and The Rock won't stop fighting to certain attempts, despite the attempts of Epsioed to break them up. It's an all-out brawl to the back. So I guess a 68, not the best, but that will all lead into an Angle in a bit. And then Jeremy's like, joining me live tonight is Amazing Red. And Amazing Red's like, so now the X Division is set. We have a limit, and we're going up in the world. But TNA management, like the idiot Kendrick, he's everything wrong with the X Division. I worked my ass off for TNA for so long, and now we get this guy running around like he's the best thing. He's not. And in Lockdown, I want a 15-minute Iron Man match for the title to prove all his wins are flukes. Well, there you go, guys. Now back to ringside. TNA management have heard Amazing Red, and they have granted him his wish. But he better be careful what he wishes for, because this might all go down to pear-shaped central if he cannot beat Kendrick here tonight. He will not be able to challenge for the title for as long as Kendrick is champion. You know, the fact is, he will have... Why haven't we got... Oh, time limit. I don't like time limit. Yeah, that's what I mean. I want an Iron Man. I don't know if I... There we go. So 15-minute Iron Man match. I didn't want to go... I was going to do a 30-minute Iron Man match, but I thought that'd be too long. With 2 lethal lockdown matches, we don't want to take up too much time. But Lockdown will be a 4-hour pay-per-view, so will Slammiversary, so will Bound for Glory, and so will Final Revolutions. Our Big 4 are going to be 4 hours to mark that they are the Big 4. But yes, it's going to be a 15-minute Iron Man match, a Lockdown for the X Division title. We'll hear from Brian Kendrick next week on Impact and about his thoughts of this match. But it gets to 35. I don't know why Jeremy Boy shouldn't on screen. In about a great heat and decent wrestling, Booker T defeated Mick Foley in 7:35 by pinfall legally using the ropes for leverage. Booker T 66, Mick Foley 63, got a 67, just thought I'd throw them two on Impact. In a terrible match, the Canadian Ninjas, Kong and Hamada defeated International Wrecking Crew and the Dark Arts in 8:02, when Awesome Kong pinned Jetta by pin with a flying splash. Hamada 38, Awesome Kong 38, Nicole Matthews 28, Porter Perez 28, Suyong 36, Rosemary 43, Jetta 25, and Rain 27. Gets a 37, not bad. And then we see Hulk Hogan walking backstage when Eric and Jimmy walk in front of him. But behind is the rest of Immortal. Grab Hogan and strap him into a wheelchair, then wheel him into the back of a van which then speeds off with them all in it. And Jim's like, what is this shit? He was not kidding, this shit is bonkers. What are they doing with Hogan? And Mike's like, this can't be good. Team Hogan has lost it here again tonight. And for some reason, Taz is vanished again. Ugh, this is an issue I'm having. And Taz is like, well, it can't be good, but coming up next is our main event. I'll have to log that into the thing. So tonight in the main event is next up is our main event of the evening as Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe. All makes sense next week. And in an exceptional match, Brock Lesnar defeats Samoa Joe in 23:48 when Samoa Joe pinned Brock Lesnar after using a foreign object, only for the previously unconscious referee to recover and reverse the decision because Samoa Joe had been disqualified. So Brock Lesnar 89, Samoa Joe 72. Paul Heyman did some good work. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman have great chemistry. That I did try and use the Dusty finish, DQ finish, but it didn't work out very well. So I need to learn how to do that because it was meant to be that Brock Lesnar. So I should have done Samoa Joe. Yeah, when Samoa Joe pinned Brock Lesnar after using a foreign object. So I should have put Samoa Joe to win, basically. That was my bad. But anyway, an 81. It was meant to be Joe get the win, but we'll accept an 81 main event. That's where we finished the show with 78. We increased our popularity in 30 regions. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got another Impact to tape tonight, and hopefully we'll find out the final attendance for both tapings. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you for the next TNA Impact with a ladder match and what the hell's going on with Hogan. It will all be kicking off tonight. Welcome back. It's our final taping today. We've had 4 tapings and we got 3,000 people at the Dover Memorial Hall tonight. And we open Impact with the Rock and Team 3D outside a barn. We can hear voices in the barn. They open the door and all we see in there is the Hardy Boys and Hogan. They attack the Hardys and take Hogan and out quick and put him in this van and speed away from the barn. So Hogan's been saved. And that will play into the final angle of the night. Throughout the night, we have an X Division match to open up tonight, and about a decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. El Generico, Kazarian, Roger Strong, and Ceen Morley defeat P. Williams, Koshai, Homicide, and Austin Aries in 7:53. When Sheen Morley defeated Koshai by putting the Super Fisherman Suplex. Sheen Morley 52, Strong 51, Kazarian 52, Generico 46, Austin Aries 52, Homicide 52, Koshai 46, and P. Williams 51. Yes, a 52, not bad. In about a decent match, the crowd was subpar wrestling. The Kings of Wrestling defeating Kink in 7:21 when Chris Hero pinned Shannon Moore by pin with the Hangman's Elbow. Shannon Moore 49, Jesse Neal 20, Claudio 51, and Chris Hero 54. 49, not bad. And Eric's there backstage, and all you can see is AJ Styles running down Ric Flair and Jimmy Hart, and obviously he doesn't know about Hogan. And he's like, it's just as tonight. I got Jeff and Matt watching the barn, and Hulk Hogan, he won't be bothering us anytime soon. So AJ, go out there and win the ladder match. We need the man advantage. Rob, you're up later tonight against the Monster Abyss. Be ready. This man is terrifying. Ah, I see. Ooh, okay. Thank you. Anyway, I now know how to fix that. So Don's like, hello and welcome back to TNA Impact. Joining me now, the X Division champion, Brian Kendrick. And Brian's like, TNA, I'm suing your ass. A 15-minute Iron Man match. Really? You really think that's what we should do? Should happen? No. I am champion. I have beaten the odds. When I won the title, then I beat Red against Genesis, and I beat him and two others 2 weeks ago on pay-per-view. I'm going to kick ass a lot down, and TNA will pay the price for disrespecting me. And he just walks off in a right huff. Then in about I didn't have much heat in Talbot Wrestling. Daphne defeated Levi Bates in 7:45 by pin the spinning Fisherman's Buster. Levi Bates 32, Daphne 36. You can just imagine Jim Ross on commentary in TNA. If you don't get told these things, how are you meant to know you can do that? In a poor match, Generation Me defeated Raven and Stevie in 8:25, and Jeremy Book pinned Ravy with more bang for your buck, 49. So Steve 48, Raven 39, Jeremy Book 43, Max Book 44. 49, not the best. And then we see the British Invasion backstage, and they're like, and they're in the locker room, they've got all the titles, and they're like, Lethal Lockdown, that is fine. We're not scared of this match. In fact, we are ready for it. It might be some of the highest earners in TNA as we are the champions. Look, come Lockdown, we'll be on top for a long time yet. Because nobody will defeat us in Lockdown or not. 360, not the best. But in about fantastic heat and great wrestling, Abyss defeated Robert Van Dam in 8:26 by pinfall the Torture Rack Backbreaker. Abyss 68, RVD 77. 77B. That's building up to something in a decent match. Lethal Consequences defeat the Briscoes in 72, and Consequences keyed, defeating Mark Briscoe with a Hammerlock DDT. Mark Briscoe 56, Jay Briscoe 54, Consequences key, Creed 48, and Lethal 59. 58C, not bad. And the beautiful people are in the interview section, but they sent the interviewer packing during the break, and we're told that by Jim Ross. And I was like, TNA Wrestling, we are the women's champion, not all this divas bullcrap. We are fighters. Now, you might not like us management, but we don't care. This is the truth. No matter how much you stack the deck on us, we're going to leave Madison Square Gardens the champions. And they get to 36. I don't know why Valp Sky wasn't on screen. And Tony's like, before our next match, I've been called into this locker room with Paul Heyman and Brock, so you can get a message, so you can send a message to Jeff. And Paul's like, thanks, Tony. And I asked you because I can trust my partner who is on Explosion. Look, it is this simple. 2 weeks ago, my man Brock Lesnar proved he's the beast in TNA when he destroyed you all. Now, in 2 weeks, the Lockdown pay-per-view is going to be Brock Lesnar in a Lethal Lockdown. And he's going to make sure you do not leave. And he's just like, thanks, Tony. 67, not bad. In about a great wrestling and good heat, Samoa Joe defeated Booker T in 7:37 by submission with a Kenichi clutch. Booker T 68, Samoa Joe 69. I got 71. In about a great heat and good wrestling, Mr. Anderson defeated Sting in 7:45 by pinfall using underhanded tactics. Sting 67, Mr. Anderson got a 71. These two have great chemistry in their performance. 71, not bad. And then we see AJ Styles and Kurt Angle for the main event tonight. It is in a ladder match, of course, for the title. In about superb wrestling and great heat, AJ Styles defeated Kurt Angle in a 1v1 ladder match in 25-27. AJ Styles retrieved the item after Kurt Angle had been taken out by Eric Bischoff. AJ Styles made defense number 6 of the TNA World Heavyweight title. Only got 57. Oh my god. Kurt Angle 86, AJ 79 is because the title match was extremely poor choice for this audience. Hence why we're changing the flipping company to no gimmick, into a no style set style, so we can have ladder matches and all this shit. So I bet the Lethal Lockdowns are going to shag the entire showdown. Anyway, 57 seed, but this gets sorry, Bischoff worked the crowd well. So after the match, Oak jumps into the ring and celebrates with AJ after taking Kurt Angle out with a steel chair. When from the rafters, Hulk Hogan drops into the ring and starts attacking AJ and Eric to close out Impact. And Eric's like, oh my god. Yes, we're having Hulk Hogan drop from the rafters. That's where we finished the show. Got a 62 sheet. Got increased our popularity 19 regions. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for joining us for this episode of TNA Wrestling. Episode number 5, ladies and gentlemen. In episode number 6, you're going to get the 2 tapings in 2 weeks' time, and you're also going to get the Lockdown. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you for that in a few days' time.